Now available in paperback and Kindle, Stop Simping in Cyberspace. Learn how to avoid predatory females like Instagram models and e-girls in their virtual con games with Stop Simping in Cyberspace. Get your copy of Stop Simping in Cyberspace in paperback and Kindle today. A black female social media influencer was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison for attempting to hire a hitman to murder her ex-boyfriend and 2 people she was having beefs with online.
In other news, glitz, glamour, and now federal prison. A Memphis internet star promised to help you make millions, but in the end, she used her money for murder.
Ashley Grayson once claimed she made $1 million in only 60 minutes. Well, now she's headed to prison for 10 years.
Fox 13's investigative reporter Kayla Solomon found new details in her sentencing documents about the victims, the money, and a fake murder attempt.
If you've ever left a negative review for a business, you may have done it to warn other customers or get back at the business for poor service. But a negative review against Ashley Grayson's online courses left her mad enough for murder.
Doesn't get more glamorous than this. Ashley Grayson's wedding proposal on a yacht with a personal serenade by R&B star Monica. Grayson's story was a Memphis rags to riches dream come true. She opened her business with an overdrawn bank account, then claimed she made $1 million in 60 minutes. An instant social media star, she pledged to help others. She opened an online course. She'd fix your credit and teach you to make your own fortune. On her Facebook page, Grayson showed off her new mansion in North Carolina and showed generosity in Memphis. I was there. She gave a free house away to a family.
Ashley is just everything to us. This is everything, and she know it.
Yeah.
I'm indebted to her for the rest of my life.
But behind the fame and fortune was fury. The Department of Justice says she flew a Memphis woman to Dallas to discuss a business opportunity. The job, murder for hire. She offered $20,000 for each victim for the woman to kill a South Haven woman who ran a similar company, Grayson's former boyfriend, and a Texas woman who made negative social media posts about Grayson.
And you don't want her hurt, and they just want her gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, out of here. Put my address up for over 100,000 people to see.
Grayson posted this conversation to her Facebook page, claiming the murder for hire was all a joke. But federal records show it got more serious. A $5,000 bonus if she killed the South Haven woman within a week. The woman told investigators she even captured video of flashing police lights from another random Memphis crime and sent it to Grayson, claiming she attempted to kill the victim and demanded $10,000. Grayson's husband Joshua was acquitted of all charges. 10 years or 120 months in prison was the maximum sentence allowed for her charges. Kayla Solomon, Fox 13 investigates.
Now, according to reports, Ashley Grayson, a social media influencer who became a millionaire by providing services that would help people fix their credit and learn how to make more money, was sentenced to 10 years in federal prison, the maximum allowed for looking to hire a hitman to murder 3 people who she was having issues with in her life. And as she flew a woman all the way out to Memphis where she lived, Ashley Grayson looked to hire this woman and contacts to murder her ex-boyfriend, a woman who had a business that she was competing with online, and another woman who left a bad review as related to the services she provided. And as she was looking to participate in this murder for hire plot, what Ashley Grayson didn't know was the woman who she would hire to participate in this contract killing basically was gathering evidence as related to this case, and eventually the federal government was able to put together a case against Ashley Grayson where they were able to secure a conviction against the social media influencer and ensure that she would wind up being sentenced to prison for the next 10 years. Now, the federal government sees the behavior of Ashley Grayson as an isolated incident, but when I take a critical examination of Ashley Grayson's actions that she was convicted for as related to these federal crimes, they definitely fit the pattern and profile for feminist indoctrinated women that I talk about in my book, The Woman Crisis, and they also fit the pattern and profile of behavior of predatory women that I tell men to identify as related to cyber simping in my book, Stop Simping in Cyberspace. And it looks like to me that Ashley Grayson basically got caught up in her online persona to the point where it basically created a rose-colored reality for her. And in that rose-colored reality that she created, she believed that she not only had the influence over people in social media, but believed that she had the right and justification to go out here and do harm to anyone in the real world. And because Ashley Grayson was so caught up in the power that she thought she had online as related to her social media presence, she basically thought that she was justified in going out here and looking to do harm to others, all because they either disagreed with her as related to the review that she was presented negatively as related to her services, or because someone had the audacity to go out here and look to compete against her with a similar business, or be someone who just did not provide any sort of emotional satisfaction to her in her past, like this ex-boyfriend. And because Ashley Grayson was so caught up in the power that she believed that she had, she basically believed that she could go out here and do anything that she wanted without any sort of accountability, and she thought that she could use the anonymity of the internet to basically be something that she could use to cover up her crimes. Unfortunately, what Ashley Grayson didn't understand about the internet is that when you are on the internet, everything is there forever. And when you go out here and participate in behaviors online that are criminal, like those on social media, what you are doing is leaving a paper trail of evidence that basically leads straight right back to you. Now, in a previous video, I talked about how when you are on the internet and you are thinking about committing a crime, what happens is when you're online, all of your computers and devices have Wi-Fi cards, and these Wi-Fi cards have an IP address, and that IP address can basically trace all the evidence back to you. Moreover, if you go on places like Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, they also have all of the recordings of the records of whatever you were saying. And again, all of this is admissible evidence to be put into court and can be used against you for prosecution. This is what many people don't understand about doing business online, is that you're creating a whole paper trail that basically follows straight back to you. And that's what happened here with Ashley Grayson, who as a woman was basically caught up in her feelings about all of the issues she was having with these people, and she thought that because she was a millionaire right now, she could go out here and look to eliminate these people who were causing her issues, and basically eliminate these people and basically continue to maintain the smooth world where she wouldn't have to deal with the problems, conflicts, or obstacles of these people online and this ex-boyfriend. And what's really sad about this whole situation is that this woman basically, as she had all of this wealth, could not see that she had stuff that was of higher value as related to her business. Moreover, she couldn't see that there were more important things than the issues she was having with these people, such as her intangibles of womanhood, such as her dignity, such as her self-respect, and most importantly, her freedom, that she didn't need to go out here and look to think to do harm to these individuals who she was going out here and having these issues with. Now, when I look at Ashley Grayson, I have to shake my head, because here's a woman who went out here and had a marriage proposal on a yacht with R&B singer Monica singing at her proposal. And here she is, after marrying the man who's supposed to be the man she's going to spend the rest of her life with, she decides to go out here and hire a hitman to kill an ex-boyfriend. Again, a guy who was possibly from her past, possibly a pookie, possibly someone who most women would have put in the rear window once they've gone out here and gotten this lavish lifestyle. They would have put that dude in the rear window. However, sadly, what happened with this woman is that she wound up so caught up in her feelings, about this dude, that she looked to go out here and look to try to have this guy murdered, all because he basically broke up with her, when in actuality what she should have done was basically charge this dude to the game, because all she needed to do, now that she had the abundant life that God had blessed her with, was live and enjoy her husband. Unfortunately, what possibly happened with Ashley Grayson is she possibly still has a soul tied to this dude and still has the spirit and DNA of this dude inside of her. So she's still angry about the relationship falling apart and wants to make that man pay for this. And again, this was something that she did because she was caught up in her feelings and wanted to sate her feelings and didn't think about the bigger picture and more important things in her life. And as she was seething in anger about that ex-boyfriend, she was seething in anger about this woman who left a negative review as related to her services. And I've gotten 1-star reviews on books on Amazon, but I just let it slide and just moved on because that's somebody's opinion. Unfortunately, with Ashley Grayson, she was caught up in her feelings to the point where she wanted to make this person suffer for leaving a bad review and possibly look to track this person down for leaving this bad review and wanted to take their life, which is what I believe to be absolutely disturbing. Absolutely disturbing to think, oh, somebody left a bad review when you need to be focused on most of the positive reviews that were left as related to your services. I mean, here you are, a millionaire, and you're thinking about somebody who basically spent small change, and instead of thinking about the bigger picture of your business, what happened with Ashley Grayson is that she just got so caught up in her feelings of anger about that negative review that she thought about taking that woman's life, and that just shows how little regard she has for human life overall, not to mention thinking about murdering the person who had, as she believed, had the audacity to open up a business that was similar to hers, not understanding in the real world people create businesses and compete against each other, and the way you compete is by going out here and being the very best that you are at your business. Unfortunately, when it came to Ashley Grayson, she was extremely insecure, and as her insecurities basically welled up inside of her, instead of going out here and celebrating her success, what she did was dwell on the things that did not work in her life, online and in the real world. And as she did this, she started to come up with this plan for this murder for hire plot and look to participate in this murder for hire plot. And what happened, sadly, is that what happened with Ashley Grayson, instead of her being able to enjoy the abundant life that God had given her, as related to her being a woman who had an overdraft bank account and then went on to make $1 million in over an hour, and then went on to again become this great social media influencer who had the ability to go out here and give houses to people. What happened with Ashley Grayson is that she couldn't see the success that she had and couldn't appreciate the success that she had. And since she couldn't appreciate the success that she had, what she did was look to go out here and look to get even with all of these people as related to sating her feelings. Unfortunately, as she looked to sate her feelings for a moment, she didn't see how she basically wound up destroying her life for a lifetime, because what she did by going out here and participating in this murder for hire plot, which she thought she could get away with, basically this woman destroyed her entire life and her career, because now that she's been sentenced to 10 years in prison, she's basically gonna wind up becoming another footnote as related to the internet and social media, and will wind up losing everything at this point because she just got caught up in her feelings. And this is what happens to many black men in the black community, sadly, as related to the being in the hood. Many brothers out here will wind up in the same predicament because they get angry and act on impulse for a moment and wind up losing everything and their freedom, all because they wanted to sate their feelings and then wind up with absolutely nothing at the end of the day. And that's what sadly happened here with Ashley Grayson. Here was a woman who again had great success as related to being a social media influencer, and sadly, instead of thinking to take care of her business as related to her business and ignoring these people who she had issues with, she looked to again dwell on these people. And again, this is how her past wound up destroying her future as a businesswoman, and instead of her going on to possibly look to further expand her business, now she's basically going into a place where she's back where she started from as related to being in and not a fiscal hole, but a prison hole. And now, instead of having to live a lavish lifestyle in Memphis in a nice mansion, she's going to be living in a jail cell where she's going to have to deal with the authority of the CEOs and have to deal with Martha, Betty, and Big Lou inside of the penitentiary, and have to deal with playing spades for Little Debbie snack cakes, ramen noodles, packets of Crystal Light lemonade, packets of Crystal Light tea, Taster's Choice coffee, off-brand Oreo cookies, off-brand duplex cookies, off-brand vanilla wafers, off-brand ginger snaps, Hunt snack pack puddings, beef summer sausages, hot and sour pickles, packets of sriracha sauce, cans of Dr. Pepper. I mean, she's going to be playing spades inside of the penitentiary and basically working for 10 cents to $1 an hour, and sadly will be lamenting the millions that she lost because they don't have an internet online. And with them not having an internet online, she's going to have to deal with the real world consequences of her actions. And this whole situation basically shows why you just cannot go out here and take people on the internet seriously or dwell on the past. Because when it comes to social media, if you participate in antisocial behavior, it will basically lead to real world consequences. And that's what happened here with Ashley Grayson, who at one time again was a millionaire, was on social media, had big time influence, but sadly couldn't see how her feelings basically kept her from being able to maintain that success, and couldn't understand that when it comes to certain things as related to social media, you can't really take them personally. I mean, if a person criticizes your business, you can't take it too personally. I mean, right now I have a lot of people being nasty in the comment section, and I have a guy like a Neil Allen looking to stalk my platform, and other people still holding grudges about the passport videos of 2019, but I can't let these people get so personal to the point where I want to put my freedom in jeopardy. And that's something I understand about being online, but sadly Ashley Grayson didn't get that lesson, and since she didn't get that lesson, what she did was wind up again looking to do harm to people. And as she did look to do harm to people, she became her own worst enemy. She became her own worst enemy to the point where she basically let all of this stuff on social media get to her, and look to go out here and get even with these people instead of just looking to charge these people to the game like she should have did with her ex-boyfriend. That was a dude she should have just left in the rearview mirror, because if you've got a great husband right now, then you need to focus on that husband and leave this ex right where you found him. But sadly, since she couldn't leave that ex right where she found him, now she's possibly going to lose her husband, because her husband, if he's out here and he sees this woman in jail and she's out of control like this, he's possibly going to file for divorce and possibly get half of her finances. That's possibly what's going to happen at the end of the day. And sadly, what happened with Ashley Grayson is a sad case of a feminist indoctrinated woman who basically, again, fits the pattern and profile for feminist indoctrinated women who live in rose-colored realities and then think they can commit crimes. I talk about this in a chapter I call Crime and the Woman Crisis. And this crime is just a great tragedy, because here was a woman who was blessed with success and wound up getting it snatched away because she couldn't deal with the demons inside of her. And because she couldn't deal with the demons inside of her, she's gone from being a woman who made millions of dollars to basically a woman who in 10 years will wind up in complete poverty, coming out of jail with no money at all if her husband divorces her, and basically competitors come and take her business. This woman will be back in the place that she was with the overdrawn account, and basically stuck as a woman 10 years later, and not a woman with success, but sadly just another tragic case of a woman in crisis. Now, if you want to learn what motivates women to participate in these types of irrational and toxic behaviors, you can pick up my book, The Woman Crisis, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find The Woman Crisis at other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you want to learn why many people go out here and participate in criminal behavior online, and how to identify predatory women online and learn how to identify online predators, you can pick up my book, Stop Simping in Cyberspace, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Stop Simping in Cyberspace at other online booksellers like Draft the Digital, Google Play, Barnes & Noble, and big box retailers like Walmart and Target. And if you'd like to see me make more videos about women in crisis or the woman crisis overall, you can drop a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.